guys, welcome to another episode of Conscious Straight Talk with Katie and Lindsay. As you can see, Katie is not here today. She is dealing with a family emergency, so we are sending her a lot of love and positive energy and hoping that everything goes okay with her family. But I'm here and I'm Lindsay, the mama behind MalibuMamaLoves.com, and I'm also a certified conscious trauma-informed life coach. And we have been, over the last couple of weeks, discussing all kinds of topics over on domestic violence. So without Katie today, I wanted to take a break in going over each of the different types. We've covered physical, we've covered, I think we were going to cover emotional today, but we're going to go ahead and do that on Monday. And today, I just wanted to take a few minutes. I shared with you guys last time that I am a survivor of domestic violence, and I wanted to take a few minutes and go over the signs of domestic violence so you can kind of start to know what to look for in your friends or even within your own relationship, because the sad truth is it can be really, really hard to know or to tell if your partner is going to become abusive, or even if you're like in the throes of abuse right now. So, and then additionally, as I like to always break it down for you guys, 1 in 3 women, 1 in 4 men have been abused at some point in time. And when I always think, like, when you go out to a restaurant or when you're in movie theaters, or even if you're in a group of 5 to 6 of your girlfriends or guy friends, whatever, somebody in there is being hurt. So I thought it would be super important to go over some of the signs today of abuse for you guys, just so you could start to think about it and, I don't know, look at your own relationship, look at the people around you. These are all tools to be able to start helping you understand and live more consciously and sort of empower you to take back control of your own life, or to help your friends if they need that, or a family member. Because again, this can happen to anybody. So I just want to go over the signs of physical abuse first. You're going to be looking for cuts, bruising, people that have rare, weird illnesses all the time, or bizarre injuries. They'll be wearing sunglasses when they don't need to sometimes. Or if you have a friend that, you know, and it's like 100 degrees out and they're completely covered from head to toe, long sleeves, long pants, all that stuff, that's usually a sign that there's some bruising or something that they're trying to hide. When they're doing this behavior for long enough, maybe, you know, that's a way in for you to be able to open up the conversation with them, because that is a major sign. Sudden weight or hair loss is a massive sign that something is going on. Again, with physical abuse, there's going to be a lot of unexplained frequent absences by this person and really bizarre last minute excuses as to why they can't show up. And when this keeps happening for a while with somebody in our life, we do need to take notice of it. It is our responsibility as a community to go over these things together and look out for each other. So the signs of emotional and psychological abuse. Okay, this one's even harder because this is one of the most difficult types of domestic violence to identify, to prove, to understand, and then to rewrite and turn that pain into purpose afterwards. Emotional abuse is so insidious. It's awful. So this is if you're out with a friend, or even for yourself, if your partner is constantly calling you for checkups and check-ins that really seem to stress you or that person out. Not if they're happy, like, oh, I wanted to talk to you, you know, nice, but it's when it becomes so constant and the person is becoming so stressed out from it that it actually prevents them from being present in your conversation. That's a huge red flag. When the person's paranoid of their partner, if you're becoming paranoid of your partner, oh, are they going to be mad? Am I going to do this? Are they going to see me going there? And, you know, are they going to tell me this? That's a huge sign. When a partner makes it so stressful for you to go out that you choose not to socialize anymore, there's something emotionally going on there. That's not right. You should never have to feel that way. If your partner has threatened you in any way, and I don't mean this little, like, everybody gets mad and will say a little, you know, whatever, but you know when a threat is serious. And if that's been happening, then there's probably some emotional abuse going on. And lastly, if a person has to go to great lengths to make an excuse for their partner, generally, that's a red flag when they're constantly having to make excuses for their behavior or why they're doing something. Verbal abuse is really a tough one. I mean, they're all horrible, you know. But signs of verbal abuse is that if you suddenly notice that you're all of a sudden putting yourself down a lot, Or if you have a good friend that you notice is all of a sudden putting themselves down all the time, that's a huge sign that something's going on, that there's some verbal abuse. If that person starts to withdraw, if they're getting angry with themselves and expressing that, they also, this is a funny one, but it does happen. When they've left the presence of the person that's verbally abusing them, they may become verbally abusive and treating others the way that they've been treated, not even realizing that this is happening. So it's really important to be aware of our actions and what we're talking about. And that's why I want to bring these things up, because sometimes we don't even know that's happening. And this person could be being horribly abused, but yet everybody's mad at them because they're turning around and acting out, not realizing subconsciously all this stuff is happening. As remember, we talked about the neural pathways last week. So that is, now I want to talk a little bit about sexual abuse. People that are going through sexual abuse or have been through sexual abuse, they often feel very dirty. They feel ashamed. They're constantly showering and keeping themselves completely covered. Those are signs, and you know that friend that is like that. It's very easy to identify when someone is really struggling with those issues. For every type of abuse, you need to go and get therapy. I mean, you've got to work for a long time. Also, another major sign is if someone responds bad to a sexual situation. Maybe they see something on TV and get all freaked out, or maybe you're having a conversation, or you share something for yourself that you did, and they're like, oh, how could you do this? And has a bizarre reaction, one that you're like, well, whoa, you shouldn't be that concerned about this. But the reality is they are triggered and they're scared for some reason. So you got to get to the bottom of that. Financial abuse, not being able to leave the house without always having to ask your partner for money, right? And getting denied money regularly. That's abusive. We all have a right to live, right? Constantly canceling due to lack of funds. If you have that friend that's, oh, I don't have the money. It's one thing when it's a friend that's, single or figuring out their lives or in a big family and, you make sense that they don't have money. But when it's just constant and you should, some alarm bells go off, definitely talk about it. Signs of spiritual abuse. And this is an interesting, a hard one to identify because it's a very fine line. People can use scriptures or traditions to control you. Meaning like, oh, the Bible says we need to have sex every 3 days, or, this tradition in my family means that you have to cook me dinner every night and have it ready for when I get home. Those are very controlling things. That is a form of spiritual abuse because you're controlling that other person to do something by making them fear some higher power or some, family members. And then last is stalking. And this is so, there's so little that people can do for this one. It's really hard. But if you have a friend that's being stalked, or if you feel like you're being stalked, they reach a level where they don't want to even go outside anymore. They're scared. And so, that's a great opportunity to start talking to them about it and to get them help. At the end of the day, therapy is so important, and one of the best ways, probably one of the only ways, whether it's group, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's, with a church, however you want to do it, you do need to talk to somebody and get some help. It took me years to get through all this stuff. So anyway, with that, I'm going to let you go, and I hope you have a great Friday and a great weekend. And I hope that some of this has inspired you to get a conversation going in your life. We all need to be talking about these things more, and that's how we're going to be able to start changing this country, is through our homes, through our personal choices every day. So with that, I hope you guys have a great Friday. Katie, if you're watching this, we're sending you all of our love to you and your family. We hope everything goes okay, and we will see you back here on Monday, and where we will be talking about the emotional